Games Workshop's financial half-year report has dropped. And as always, I'm going to jump in. I'm going to do my little bit of a breakdown with the things that really took my fancy, mostly with the licensing, some of the financial things, the Warhammer Plus numbers, etc., etc., etc. So let's jump in. Let's take a look at it, and let's get waffling, brothers. So let's jump in and let's look at the big things first. The big things for me is always like the video games, the media and stuff, because we've been talking about this now for the last year, and there's a lot to digest. So I'm starting with the licensing. I'm starting with the media. The big one on December the 10th, 2024. It says we announced the conclusion of our negotiations with Amazon for the adaptation of Games Workshop's Warhammer 40,000 universe into films and television series. Now, I just want to put this out there. A lot of people are thinking that it's just going to be a TV show. It states it there. There's movies involved in this as well. We have the potential now to be sitting back in a cinema watching a Space Marine dissect an Eldar on the big screen. And that, for me, is an absolute dream come true. So hopefully this stuff hits, it takes off, it's amazing, we all love it, we all enjoy it. We've already seen what Amazon has done with the Titus story, even though it was just a little small, episode. Everyone I spoke to loved that. They thought it was great. The fight scenes, the actions, everything. The visual of it, the grim darkness of it, the blood of it, absolutely amazing. Also, added on to the end of that, it says together with associated merchandising rights. Now, that is another big subject to talk about, because a lot of people are concerned that that is the tabletop, and I don't think it's that at all. What it is, it's stuff like t-shirts, hats, scarves, posters, shoes, maybe. Right, try and think of Game of Thrones when that came on the scene and that exploded and everyone like, I am House Stark, I am House Baratheon. There were some weirdos like I am House Greyjoy and House Bolton. It's that kind of stuff. Maybe like chainswords you can put on your wall and stuff, like weapons and everything like that. I think that's what they mean by merchandising rights. It's nothing to do with the tabletop. It's nothing to do with the actual models themselves. Next up is the video game section, which I'm just highlighting here, and it says, during the period, our licensing partners launched 2 new video games, Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2, a third-person shooter for PC and console, and Warhammer 40,000 Speed Freaks, a racing game sim. Now, I will say, Speed Freaks launched like a week before Space Marine 2, and I think it really took the wind out of its sails. I really think the developers made a mistake launching Speed Freaks like a week before Space Marine, because people are telling me now, have you heard of Speed Freaks? I'm like, yeah, it came out before Space Marine 2, and they're like, I have no idea about it at all. So maybe we can jump back on and maybe spread the word on Speed Freaks, because I think it did have a bit of a bad launch. Anyway, that aside, it says establishing games continue to contribute alongside royalty income earned following the success of Space Marine 2. We recognize a success like these for Warhammer are not a given in the world of video games. Clearly, we are looking for the next one. We remain cautious when forecasting royalty income. Now, of course, it mentions nothing about Total War 40k, like any video games in production or anything. It normally does mention stuff like that. Now, the rumor is, of course, Total War 40k is happening, but I've also heard another rumor as well, and this is a bit of a spicy rumor added to this, so take it with copious amounts of salt. Potentially, there may be another Dawn of War game in production. I'm not sure if it's going to be Dawn of War 4. Fingers crossed for me that it's going to be a Dawn of War remaster. I've always said this, if they want to make all the money, just take the original Dawn of War games, spice them up graphically, keep all the sound, all the soundtracks, all the voice actors, and yeah, you've just earned yourself probably one of the best-selling games of the year if a company wants to go and do that. But yeah, it's kind of interesting that they didn't mention any current production of games, or like mentioned in the report, we do have some other licensing video games in production, but not mention them. They have done that in the past. So yeah, let's see what happens this year with those rumored games. If we go to the next page of the document, there's a little thing about customer focus here. It's all about numbers, which, tells you how successful maybe certain things are. So the Warhammer community website, right here when it starts, it says, we have seen growth in the numbers of hobbyists enjoying our articles and news stories. Warhammer community is a hub for our marketing activities and plays a vital role in delivering hobby news and information every day of the year. They don't talk about any of how many numbers of like visitors or anything like that, which is strange because they do mention like registrations and stuff, like 695,000 users. I don't know. Yeah, it's just a bit strange that they don't mention numbers on that one because they mention numbers on everything else. For example, Warhammer Plus, it says launched in August 2021. It continues to delight and entertain a steadily growing subscriber base. Subscriber numbers are 207,000 at the period end. So 2023, it was 169,000. So again, it's jumped up again. It is jumped up again. What's that? Is that over? Sorry if my math rack is off. Is that over like 1.1 million pound a month in just Warhammer Plus subscribers? I'll hold my hand up. I'm subscribed to Warhammer Plus, but not for any of the shows. I'm subscribed for the app, and at the moment in time, I've jumped in and watched some of the shows. Like the painting one's not really for me. I tried to watch some of the podcasts and stuff, and it just, I don't know, it just feels too corporate from my liking. The lore one I've enjoyed. But yeah, I guess it is what you like, I guess. I'm just using it to get the free model. Well, I say free model. I'm using it to get the model and subscribe to the app at this point. That is all I'm using it for. I would say animations, but there's animations very, very few in between. When an animation does drop, yes, I watch it. I love it. But I don't think it's a thing I'm buying for the animations. It's more or less the app for me at this moment in time. There's a nice little bit about expansion for those people who haven't been following. They are literally buying up all the warehouses, all the land around the GW facility. And there's going to be, if I'm not mistaken, like a new cardboard facility. There's going to be a new paint facility installed there. So everything that Games Workshop does will not then rely on third-party retailers. It's just going to be all in-house. It says it right here, manufacturing section. Now we have secured planning permission for the construction of our fourth factory at our HQ in Nottingham. It will be completed in the summer of 2026. So 2026 then, we should really start seeing a ramp up of production. What we're seeing at the moment is a lot of stock out of stock, a lot of people begging for things to come back in stock, but Games Workshop just can't hit it because they literally don't have the space to produce it. In the period, we also purchased 2 further properties near our HQ, further cementing our commitment to the local area. The larger of the 2 sites, Easter Park, will be an operational and financial year and will expand on our paint production. There we go, a new paint website, as I mentioned. The second property provides us capacity for future expansions, so even bigger stuff. Again, I'm hearing it's to do with like cardboard production, so they can make their own boxes on site and don't have to rely on other third-party companies. But the big thing from that is that Games Workshop are growing. They are growing year by year. I've said soon enough, everything on that Games Workshop row, if you know where Warhammer World is just going to be a GW facility. It would not blow my mind within the next 5 to 10 years. Every single building is owned by Games Workshop and they're producing something new entirely in that industrial estate. Now, there is something a bit interesting here in terms of revenue. Of course, the revenue is up because Games Workshop is Games Workshop. But down at the bottom here, online revenue is down. So online revenue this financial year is 43 million. But in the 23 to 24, it was 44.8 million. So they are down 1.8 million in terms of online revenue. Is that because people are using more third-party retailers? I would think so. Like, why would you use Games Workshop online when you can go to a third party and get it up to 20% cheaper? I've always said that to people. Try and get the best for your buck when it comes to GW's products, because they are getting a little bit, I say a little bit, they are very expensive products. And now just quickly at the end, what I normally do when they put out a half-yearly statement or any type of statement, I always see what the share price is saying. And today the share price is down by 3.78%. I know you can't really look at it on a daily basis because that is a kind of a blindsided thing to do. You normally have to look at it like over like 6 months to a year. It is going a bit, it looks like it is going on the back end, going down a little bit. It's still up in the past 6 months, up 19%, which is a fantastic thing if you've invested into it. But yeah, I was a little bit shocked to see that there was no raise today. Normally what you do get off a financial report with stuff like this is the share price going up, bumping up by 1% to 3% or 4%, 5% sometimes. But yeah, that was a little bit of an eye opener. I'm not saying that Games Workshop's dying; it's in danger. I don't think anything like that is happening at all. But yeah, that was just something I haven't seen before in terms of a financial report coming out and GW share price. Anyway, Chaprunios, sorry if that was a bit boring for people. Yes, there wasn't any funky models or anything like that. The big reveal show is this week. I will be doing a watch along for it, and it sounds absolutely spicy. I've got my prediction video, what I want to see, what I hope to see at the reveal show, what I think is going to be shown off at the reveal show. That's dropping tomorrow, so we'll go through everything there. I am hearing some absolute banging stuff is going to be happening at that reveal show. Tell me what you think about this. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Is it to be expected now? Again, Games Workshop, the revenue's up again. It's the same old story. Every single year, it's gone up and up and up. It looks like more of the actually IP revenue though is showing through, which I think in a couple of years' time may be their biggest asset when it comes to their product. But I guess we'll see. Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Have a great night. Have a great evening, wherever you are in the world. And as always, bye-bye.